All right, guys, welcome to another VenoMCalls AMA. We're here with Joey, who's the founder of the OG token. This project's pretty cool. As we know, we need a solid place to find proper marketing for our cryptocurrency projects, as well as a place where freelancers can go, people can go and just hang out and, get information about projects. So, Joey, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on here. Before we dive into your utility, do you mind just giving us a brief introduction about yourself, sort of how you got into the crypto space, a little bit about your project, and how you met your team?
Yeah, sure. So I guess, long story short, I do have 10 years of professional experience in IT and finance separately. In crypto, I actually started my journey really long ago, back in 2009 when I started mining for Bitcoin, but a lot of series of unfortunate events. I'll just cut that part short, really. I restarted crypto again back on 2017. I was really big on Ethereum and XRP. So I slowly, got on the journey. And last year, I was really glad that I met up with some friends and we started BNB Cash project since May 2021. I left in October 2021. And later on, we managed to secure some funds from angel investors alongside with our own funds. So we collected about $100,000.
Okay.
Partners. We are in the business together. We signed the company together. We have a legal agreement between each other to make sure whatever happens between us, whatever that comes, it wouldn't be affecting the project or anything along the line, because the last thing that I do want would be that. So I guess, the whole development of whatever that we're trying to do has actually begun last year in November. It took us some time to even open the project up to public because we want to be able to show people some stuff that we already have, instead of waiting for the pre-sale, collect the money and start the development from then on. It's going to be really hard to manage the community and everything that's going on. So we decided to launch our project, the token itself, in March, and the platform shortly after, only because of some testing that we have to do that has to do with our tokens and the website. So I guess that's, I hope that's brief enough.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys have actually had this in the works for quite a while now. When I was reading on your website or white paper, I can't really remember where I had seen it, but you guys were actually doing a private sale for the people that were sort of waiting in your Telegram for quite a while, right? So let's just talk about your private sale a little bit. Let's talk about your pre-sale, and then we'll get into the utility of your actual project. So how much did you guys raise in the private sale?
It wasn't much. It's actually only 19,600. We limited the amount because actually, even the pre-sale, we're not allocating a huge amount right there. We're not trying to raise a lot of money, honestly, because the development is mostly going to be completed. What we really need from there is the funds for sustenance in case, if we don't do anything at all, like not don't do as in like we are not working, as in like if we are in like bad luck strike for entire 12 months, we will have something to back up, to pay for server, things that's those subscription on the site that we have to maintain and whatnot. So that is for private sale. Yes, we did take a small portion for the loyal supporters. As for the pre-sale, we're trying to raise 165,440 USD. 60% of it actually goes to liquidity. The remaining, again, is for rainy day fund. So I hope I covered both of what you need.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's bounce back to your team a little bit. You were talking about your partner. I think his name is Jawad, or I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. You sort of cut out when you were talking about that. So is it just the two of you on the core team?
Yeah, so as a core team, yes. But I know one thing that would come up to people's mind is that how can two-person be developing the platform? You must be kidding me. So we did outsource what we need to do. So he's the tech lead. He takes care of everything from contract to the site, the platform that we are trying to build. but we did outsource help to a development company because, to develop a platform like this, you need about 10 to 12 person from UI UX designer to coding to not a full stack thing. So you can't just have one or two person doing it. It just wouldn't be possible even if you don't sleep for the next few months with testing and whatnot. Yeah. So
Definitely.
we do outsource that. Yeah, we have our own lawyer. She's not full time. She's a freelance lawyer, but she works closely with us. So we have that as our advantage. So core team wise, in terms of managing the project, managing the business risk, and whatnot is us. But an expansion is definitely needed. We need people to go on the ground, to look for projects to join the platform, to look for freelancers, to manage the day-to-day activity on the platform. We have identified individuals. The expansion will really only happen in April when it comes. So for now, we're in a good place.
Okay, so you are looking to expand your team. You outsourced your developers to sort of build the platform and everything. I really like that. I think it's super important when you're trying to build your project and you don't have the actual team, right? You don't have enough bodies to go around. Everybody's tired. Nobody gets sleep in this space. We all know that. So very beneficial to sort of outsource certain parts of your project to different companies and stuff like that that are reputable. I did notice that you guys actually built your own company as well. Like you're your own company now, right? Yeah.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
So we chose Singapore as where we want to set up our company. Actually, we set it up back in December 17, 2021. The whole reason is there's a few reasons. One is for the platform. We want to be able to let people know that what we're trying to do here is legal, and we're not trying to scam anyone. And I think having an actual company in a very strict country is much better than a KYC certificate or even me being in front of the screen, because I could be faking my identity right now. I could be forging documents for the KYC. That's the truth, right? But if I tie my name to a company, if something goes wrong, like any form of scam or any suspicious activity, you guys can actually report. The authorities can take action because we're actually tied to the, obviously we have the answer to the law of the country. So that's actually our main reason. It's not much more than that, but also for long term, we do know that if we want an expansion as such, major centralized exchanges, they do require real entities and proper like registered entities with proven business background and whatnot, as well as their transactions and stuff. Because I've worked with some centralized exchanges before, not in the centralized exchange, but with a lot of people from that area. So I do know, prepare that up and not wait till that moment and like, oh, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, right. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I like the fact that you guys have your own company. Like you said, it does give some it just gives confidence to the investors, right? Like it's just that extra step not many projects take. So the fact that you guys actually went out there and did that, decided to do that, props to you guys for sure. Okay, so let's bounce back to your pre-sale and your private sale again. I know your pre-sale is on the 12th of March, right? That's on Unicrypt. Okay, so you guys raised roughly 20K for the private sale. That's sort of your safety net in case anything goes wrong. You just sort of have an amount of money there that you can do whatever you sort of need to do with in order to bend the way that you have to bend. The pre-sale, you guys are raising 165,000. So when it comes to, okay, so I want to talk about both here. So when it comes to that private sale and when it comes to that pre-sale, is the pre-sale whitelisted first of all?
The pre-sale? So there's a mixture. So with Unicrypt, they have recently changed their structure back on 25th of February. Sorry, you meant pre-sale, right? Not private sale.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking about both. We bounced to the pre-sale. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll finish the pre-sale and walk through the private sale because the private sale is just manual between like a small private group. So there wasn't a platform or anything. But for pre-sale, yes, there are rounds for whitelist. So with Unicrypt, they are a little bit different. They do allocate like different rounds. So they have something called round zero. So round zero contains two different groups of people. One is the UNCL, people who are willing to burn UNCL tokens. 20% of the hard cap is allocated there. We can't change that. It's a Unicrypt rule. 79% of the other sorry, 79% of the hard cap can be whitelisted based on max contribution. So you got to take like 79%, multiply by 165,000, and then divide by, you know, max per wallet, then you get the amount of whitelist. You can't over allocate, unlike like in, you know, Pink Sale or different launch pads where you have to, where you can put in more whitelist spots and people have to fight for it. In Unicrypt, you just can't. And later on, there is a public sale round. Yeah, right after, once it fills.
That's really interesting. I never knew that about Unicrypt. I've sort of talked about it. I've been on the website before. I've actually used the platform, but never in depth. And I didn't know that you couldn't actually over allocate for whitelist spots. Now, I think that's really cool because it can cause a lot of FUD if you get a whitelist spot and then all of a sudden, you know, the cap's filled all of a sudden and you don't get your opportunity to get in. So I like that fact. That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of Unicrypt. I think it's an absolutely beautiful site. So that's great for that. And when it came to the people that you sort of gave the whitelist to, was this to influencers? Was this to whale groups? Was this to anybody in particular, or was it open to the public?
It's a mixture of a lot of things because part of our marketing strategy from beginning in the first place was through word of mouth in the beginning. So what we did is we did split, you know, the whitelist spot to different competitions that we internally have. You know, the common one that you will see around is definitely Sweep Widget. We do put that because, you know, by spreading that out, we will really gain awareness for your projects. But ultimately, the rest of it, we split it up to mostly on AMA groups that we join, as well as call channels, like some private groups, some whale groups, some of our strategic partners that we already formed. We also give out to, there's another competition that we have on our Telegram. You gotta don our name, you gotta don our profile picture, you gotta have our link on your bio, the usual, just to spread the word around. So we kind of split everything to many, many pieces. Sorry. So previously, actually, our max per person, they could have contributed 700 BUSD. But because of all these initiatives that we're trying to gain attention for the project during the week of pre-sale, we had to reduce the max allocation to 480. So we really slice and dice and pass it to many, many different people.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and last question about sort of the pre-sale and the private sales is, what is the sort of the token advantage? So, sorry, not the token advantage, the price advantage, I should say.
Yeah, so I guess starting from private sale, it's at 0.01 BUSD per token. So we have an incremental of 10% on each stage. So pre-sale increased by 10%, which is 0.011%. And then in launch, it'll be 0.0121. So the idea of 10%, 10%, 10% is because it's easier to be able to control that since we do have taxes, buy taxes of 10%. Our sell taxes is at 15%. Obviously, there are some perks to those taxes that goes back to the holders. But the main point is, you know, the calculation that we do among all these levels coincides with how we will tax. So at least based on past projects, as well as some projects that have helped, if we do this correctly with this calculation, the price will never go below launch price, as in usually. Like the floor would never dip down. I've seen a lot of projects that go below their launch price, which is scary, you know, but I don't foresee we'll have the issue.
Beautiful. And I like the fact that you guys aren't sort of like overreaching the amount of money that you're trying to raise. You have quite a large platform here with a lot of utility, which I do definitely want to get into. So let's do that. There was sort of one more question. I like the fact that you guys have your own company. I already said it, but that's sort of the KYC thing that we were talking about. Everybody likes to know if you guys are KYC'd, even though a lot of the times these days KYC doesn't really mean anything, as you were sort of saying. So let's just talk about one last thing, which is going to be the audits. So do you have an audit yet? Do you plan on getting more audits in the future? What are you at with that?
Yeah, so we actually have our KYC in the progress regardless, because, you know, we don't want to who don't want it to look red in Unicrypt. Because before anyone actually clicks on your project, sometimes when they see red, they just click away and you're like, oh, they didn't even read. So we still have our KYC on the way that will be there before pre-sale. The audit is done. We had audit with solid proof, and it's all good. We posted it in our channel. We do plan on having more audits in future. Actually, we wanted to start restricting upfront, but the contact that I had, which is usually really quick, but he actually said that they're having a backlog, and we actually have to wait like 3 to 4 weeks for like a preliminary report, and we're like, no, that's not good enough. That's quite, that would miss everything, and then probably have to do it much after.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely know that a lot of the audit companies are totally backed up right now. There is a ton of projects in the space, so it definitely makes sense. They got a lot of work in front of them. They have to read the contract. They have to go through the project. It just makes sense that they would be backlogged. So understandable. Okay, but you do have your initial audit with solid proof, which is what you were saying there. So I like that. Okay, let's get into the project because this is pretty exciting. Like I said, we need something like this in the space. There are other projects that are sort of doing the same thing, and I appreciate y'all. Like you sort of all come together to sort of work towards the same goal, which is creating a safer space for everybody in the crypto community. So you're basically a platform where people can go with their projects. They can find different marketers. They can find freelancers to come onto the project. If you need NFTs or anything like that, you'll be able to find people. So what is basically, just go over the core of your project. Like what is the main focus that you guys are working on?
Okay, so the main focus really is one thing, but if I may backtrack a little bit about why we are doing this in the first place, is because we've found so many problems in the space, while we were managing projects or helping people out and whatnot. Scam is just abundant, and that's not just rug projects. We're talking about marketers who are going to scam you, and sometimes it's real legit people or known people, and you still get in trouble. Like different kinds of scam could be like, they could take your money and then they miss the whole deadline of what you want to do, but they still deliver later on, a late delivery, or they just don't deliver, take your money and disappear. A lot of project owners actually suffer from this a lot, and from the marketers themselves as well. I mean, I'm sure every one of us over here has at least seen, hi sir, do you need a marketing proposal in all project groups?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame them because there is no centralized avenue for them to get to people. So if you're new and you're starting up something that you want to do on your own, you have to go door to door, right? But at the same time, people have been scammed so many times. Project owners have been scammed so many times, the legit ones and the good ones. And you just can't tell the bad and the good ones apart. It's just impossible because everyone sounds the same. It's just words. What can you do, right? So there's really a lot of problems surrounding crypto marketing. So our main focus really is to bring a closure towards that. We want to work towards that. So our first utility that we wanted to bring in the market is actually the freelance platform that the niche is on crypto marketing. But essentially, there's a lot of utilities that we have. It's all surrounding crypto project growth. So what we want as a project ourselves, we want to grow other potential projects that have legit use cases, they have potential. This is extremely important because some projects, they may struggle in the beginning during their development phase. Sometimes, the hype just dies out. The project could potentially just die out because of funding and whatnot. And this is happening a lot in the space. I'm sure many of you have seen that before. They have big teams. They can't sustain everybody's salary. They got to eat something, right? They have to take some money. They can't pay for the developments because the costs keep coming up. There could be different challenges. They couldn't pay. By the time maybe if they pay everything, no marketing can be done to push what they have just done because everything is gone. And hence the project die. So if we stick together, all the legit projects, we do stick together, we're able to collaborate and bring up something new, the space would be a much better place for all investors plus ourselves. And really the crypto winter would not scare us so much, because by then, we will work together and think about methods or ways on how to overcome it. So that's really the grand goal. Hence why we call ourselves organic growth. Oops. Organic growth.
You got it.
I got it. I got it. Yeah, so the name OG, I know for everybody, it's original gangster. We did it on purpose to call it OG and organic growth because it sounds both rugged, playful, and professional at the same time. So we're trying to achieve both, right? That's important in the space. So I kind of went all around, but together with projects, growing together with investors, whether they are holding OG tokens or not, we do want to be able to make the space thrive in our own way.
Yeah, no, you absolutely nailed it with your explanation. And I couldn't agree more. There is a lot of avenues for people to get scammed, fake marketers, fake projects, just scam central. So that's sort of what I was saying in the beginning. We really need platforms and projects like you guys to come in and just sort of like force people into a new direction for the space as a whole. So you guys are doing it. I love it. It's super important. Okay, so what can I talk about here? So there's a lot to talk about. So making it easy to find a marketer. Okay, so I want to sort of talk about the projects that are going to be coming on your platform. So you're going to have portfolios for marketers, and you're going to actually have portfolios for projects as well, or pages for projects. Sorry, I can hear myself. It kind of messes me up a little bit.
It's okay.
Okay, so what is what do you need to do to be eligible to be listed on your platform? So from both perspectives, from a project perspective and from a marketer perspective.
Yeah, sure. That's a valid question. So for now, the process itself is really simple. There is no mandatory KYC, although we will push heavily on KYC. Works. Not everybody wants to be KYC, especially if we are talking about major influencers who are well known in the space. We should go there and say, hey, do you want a KYC? You must KYC to use the site. They'll be like, no, hasta la vista, bye. So to counter that, I know it's the question probably would relate to, so how do you offer security or safety to to people who are using the platform? Aren't we going back to square one? So no, we counter that issue with whoever who's trying to sign up. It's going to be really easy. There's no fee to sign up, whether it's employer or freelancer. The freelancers, they can try the lowest tier accounts. They're free. They can just go in, try 2 jobs, and after 2 jobs, they have to pay a really low subscription fee. But for employers, no. So they don't have to pay anything until they use the services. But if they were to use our token, there's no extra fee at all. They just have to buy the token. That's it. No fee. So yeah, going back to the safety of the website, because I know KYC is definitely an issue. We counter that by introducing the escrow function. So this would solve a lot of issue of like people who are worried, the delivery will not be there. What they want the person to do is not going to be done. Or, the marketer themselves worry that, okay, I'm legit, so I'm going to do it for you and collect payment afterwards. But, some projects, they actually don't pay. It happens. We've heard of that story before, and it's not uncommon. So the escrow feature is to battle that. I know I went a little sidetracked, but I felt that it's leading towards that. So I just want to clear it up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, if you ever go out on a tangent, it's fine because you got a lot of material to cover, right? So it just makes sense. Talking about the escrow, I did think I'm pretty sure that I read on your site that you actually need to use the OG tokens in order to get that escrow access.
Yes.
So you're not actually able to use BNB or BUSD, which you are able to use on your website, but it's just the OG token for the escrow.
Yes.
Okay. So how does that kind of work? Why is that the case?
So it's done on purpose. It's not about technical difficulty. We can't escrow BUSD and BNB. No. So this is really to push the utility of the token. I think many people, they have their own, they have their own native currency, right? Where they say we have a lot of use cases and whatnot. But really, when it comes to use cases, it means that you have to use the token. So what we're trying to do here is to push the usage of the token itself. So that's why we have the escrow feature specifically only on our token, and a lot of things are reduced, even for the marketers themselves. If they were to use OG tokens, their fee is for the employers or crypto project owners, no fees. So the whole reason why we keep doing this is because we always remember, right? When we want to launch a native token, we do want some form of investors as well. And with that, investors would be very interested to know, right? How would the price go up? How does it impact me? So I'm not a marketer, I'm not a project owner. Why would holding this token be good for me? Because it doesn't really make sense. It seems like they're just going to buy and sell to whatever currency that they have. So we keep pushing the usage of this because every buy and every sell, it triggers reflections back to the holders. It's back in its native token. But there's also a buyback and burn mechanism that we have over there. We burn all the tokens that we buy. So that benefits the investors for sure. So while we are developing the platform and while we are developing the token itself, we were really careful. We want to make sure that it makes sense, that it actually gels with each other, is interconnected, not a separate thing. Hence the reason why the escrow feature can only be triggered on if you use OG token but not BUSD BNB.
Right. Okay, that makes sense to me. You're just really trying to push the use case. Okay,
Yep.
so I was reading, there is actually a section on your white paper that says the OG token use cases, which I really like. It's super easy. I can go over it here really fast. So we have the reflections, first of all, which say 4%. So is that actually correct right now?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so 4%
Yes.
reflections. Did you want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. And then, yeah, so the escrow only for the OG token, which I really like as well. It sort of pushes that price floor. It gives options for people so that they can, sorry, not options. It gives reason for the token even more. Pay for features, leaderboard, and you can pay for Telegram marketing, AMAs, and banner ads. So let's talk about those sections. So pay for features. What kind of features do you guys have that you can pay for with the OG token?
Oh yeah, so the features itself, if I may share my screen.
Yep.
It's actually on our platform. Let me bring this down. Oh Lord, sorry. Just one moment. Right now my screen looks very messy. I'm very embarrassed. Okay, I'm gonna share this out now. Let me know when you guys can see it.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, so actually the features piece is really the blog side. So where the blog is concerned, basically we can write interviews, we can post updates, we can write articles on different projects, different marketers, or anything at all. It can either be free, it can either be charged, so it really depends. But yeah, the features actually refer to the article section. Obviously, we have OG services, which is a bunch of other things that we do on Telegram that's from the OG team itself, not by the freelancers. But the features that you're looking for on the site or the red paper is actually this.
Okay.
It's not live yet.
Okay.
You can't click. It doesn't work when you click.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm sure that you guys will be updating that so that it does work eventually. Okay, so we got blogs, benefits of hiring a freelancer, the cryptocurrency job market. Yeah, okay. All right. So those are the features. So what about the leaderboard? What's this leaderboard that you're talking about?
Oh, yes. So again, it's on the site. I'm sorry. I should just leave it there. My bad. Okay. So the leaderboard is not live, so you'll see dummy data. So leaderboards are very much like what you see on coin listing sites and whatnot, but for us, it's a very condensed leaderboard. It's very limited spots, the promoted spots where people can pay for. It's very different from the others because what we're trying to show here is how much they have spent on the platform, how many jobs have they paid for. And this is something that is very interesting for crypto investors alike, because we all notice that, whenever investors go to a project, they will always ask, what marketing have you done? How much have you spent? Did you really spend this amount? Did you do it? But really, no one can really find out. So in this sense, if they were to promote themselves or organically, if they're doing really well, spending a lot on the site, they will appear. So I would say crypto investors like myself, I will go on this site, I will be able to see projects that are spending quite a bit and think if I want to invest instead of traditional, just they pay for promotion and that's all. Here, there actually are some substance for you to study, for you to research whether do you think it's a good project enough for you to want to get involved in. Obviously, when you click on employers in future right now, again, we have not linked the homepage to the inner part of the platform because it's still in development. But if you were to click on employers, you should be able to click on profiles of employers. You can see details such as this, how much I've paid, any notes from people who have worked, pushed that project, marketing and whatnot. So the leaderboard really will be on the home page, getting the most coverage. So these are the spots that they can pay for. It's not going to be easy to get here. We will have very, very strict criteria because we really don't want to promote projects that potentially could do harm to the space. So even if it's going to be empty and we can't find good projects at that moment, we'd rather not take that money and just leave it empty. Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's generally what we do too, for sure. We turn a lot of projects down every day just because we don't think that that we should be like really, even for AMAs. Like AMAs are a little bit different. I've talked about it a few times. AMAs are sort of give the opportunity for the project to come on and sort of talk to potential investors about their project. And it's not really a promo, but even those we turn down a lot too because they're just, they just aren't really there making the cut. They're meme tokens, they don't really have any utility. We really try to bring on the projects with the utility. So the fact that you guys have this leaderboard, I appreciate that for solid projects. So for promoted employer and freelancer, so what is the employer? What does that mean?
Yeah, so the employers are people who pay for someone to do the job, usually crypto project owners. Here is organic information. The promoter, obviously, they have to pay for. The employer and freelancers ones are actually organic depending on the data that they have on the site. So this amount will combine not just BNB or BUSD, also OG tokens. So it's a cumulative value that will show up, as of whatever that they have transacted at that moment. So yeah, this piece is what I think will really help like project owners, especially if they see top performing freelancers, let's say in different categories. I want to see this category. This person has made so much, blah, 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 in the last 7 days. I want to try this out. Similarly, for freelancers, if they see like, these projects have done a lot of marketing, they seem to have a good budget. I want to see if I can be able to work with them, right? So they would, vice versa. It's useful for everybody. So this is for crypto investors. This is for freelancers to view. This is for employers to view, if that makes sense. So there's like 3 target audience over here.
Okay, so you guys are actually targeting everybody. So it's not just the projects that are going to be on this leaderboard. It's also freelancers and it's also, is there going to be marketers on there as well?
Yeah, which is under freelancers.
Okay, so that's under freelancers. All right. Yeah, no, I like that. And so these projects that come on here, how are they it's a combination of things you said. So the amount that they've spent, their rating. So let's talk about their rating. So how do they get that rating?
So the rating system, very much like I think Uber probably is the more relevant one right now that everybody would know. You would rate your driver from 1 star to 5 star, depending on the service. So this is the rating. It goes both ways. So freelancers can also rate employers because sometimes, especially when it comes to crypto marketing, it's really hard for people to judge what really works because it also depends on what they are marketing. If that thing that they're marketing don't really have something to fully market, it's also extremely unfair for the freelancer to say that the campaign has failed, right? There's also a lot of other factors. So the rating goes both ways. When a job is completed, they can rate each other. And I think that would give a better reputation. Imagine someone who earns like a lot of money but very low rating. That would be a bit weird. It should it should work hand in hand and whatnot. So that's really for people to make a good judgment. Fair, I would say. So upon transaction, you can have that. So other people, when they come on to their profile or if they look at here, they can judge, this is the amount of rating and whatnot. It's actually not going to be like 100 over. It's an average over 5. This is dummy data, so this is not accurate. So in case you're wondering why did they go 3 digits, it shouldn't.
Okay. No, yeah, and also they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Makes
same.
Okay, so yeah. When it comes to users on this platform, are they able to, I sort of noticed that it'll be the community that's going to be voting for certain projects that I'm not sure if that's designated to the leaderboard or what was I reading on the white paper or your website that said that the community would vote for projects?
It's under project grant. So this project grant is actually not something that they pay for. So if let's say a project has utilized OG token on their website and they apply for the grant and they fit the criteria of application, we will shortlist a number of people, a number of projects. We will get the community to vote who should win that grant. So the grant will come not only in monetary assistance, which usually it depends on the amount that we have at that very moment to assist, but it also will come with like assistance for marketing, like, whatever avenue that we have on our platform. You can see, for example, promoted spots here. We had ads down there. We have the feature. We have our Telegram. They can go on our Telegram. So all these assistants are free, right? We want to be able to help them out. So even at the time when we're shortlisting these people and have people vote, it's not going to be on the platform. It's going to be in Telegram itself because Telegram is really where a lot of crypto investors are at. We don't want to separate them out from the places. We want them directly to join different communities. So even if they do not win this project grant, but as long as they're shortlisted, we think that they fit the criteria. Even at those moments, they can gain some awareness, Communities from different projects would be able to know each other. So let's say I've shortlisted 5 projects, only 1 project will win, but the other 4 projects would be able to have their name there. Other people will be able to see and click in and whatnot. So that's actually the vote piece, not the leaderboard. It's for the project grant.
Okay, so when these projects come and they want to be eligible for the grant, will they, where do they come from? How do they apply for this grant other than holding your token like you're saying?
Yeah, so not holding the token, they have to transact using the token. Right now, we don't have the fixed process written out yet. We will have it under FAQ after this for employers in general. But basically, they have to fit a certain form of criteria. We will have an interview for people who apply. So we will subscribe them with the link where they can apply. We will share with projects, when they start off or when they sign up, they will receive an automatic email. So in the email, we will prepare a toolkit for the employers on things like what they should be aware of in platform, what else can they get from us, what are the assistance that they can obtain, about a project grant, about our elite club, things like that. So it's something that they have to apply for sure. Right now, we don't have the fixed process just yet. We have high level of what we want to do, but the actual detail itself, we have not released it just yet, as the platform will only start. The whole thing will only start really in April. So.
Okay, makes sense. April, not too far out. I like that. Um,
No.
let's talk about the OG Lounge. What is this OG Lounge that we're talking about?
Good, you picked it
I
up.
did.
So the OG Lounge, I think one thing that we might want to modify, okay, that's something that perhaps we have to modify a little bit. So previously, we want to be able to have a lounge for project owners to just get together and collaborate. If they sign up on the site, we want to be able to put them all together and help each other out wherever possible. So they have a dedicated space that they can go to, a safe space that they can go to. But now we came up with an elite membership club, but that's really for investors. Project owners can join too. So perhaps, there will be two different things, but they sound a bit similar, but they're essentially very different. So the lounge itself is really for project owners. Our elite club is for people who are holding on to OG tokens, for example.
Okay, so anybody can go to the OG Lounge and sort of communicate with people, brainstorm ideas. It's just a hangout. So is that going to be Telegram based, or is that going to be on your website chat room, or?
Yeah, we actually wanted it to be independent, but we are also collecting feedback to see if it's something that people would want. We don't want to build something where it's not useful for people, right? Don't want to introduce a trouble where no one actually wants it to be. We want to be able to solve issues, not create new ones. So the platform itself, where it will be held, we don't know. But again, the selection will be stringent because for them to be able to connect with each other or talk, we need to be really careful who's legit and who's not to be invited there. So when thinking about a platform, earlier we wanted to create something like a forum for them to get in where they can collaborate, but we think that it's really not quick enough. So potentially still using some chat messenger type of platform. If we have to stay in Telegram, we will stay in Telegram if that's what everybody wants. If they think that that's easiest for them, since they have their presence there, it's easy for them to toggle and whatnot. But if if there's something that they see that for them to speak or whatnot, they want to change, then they can. Ultimately, we still hope that we will be able to introduce something like a forum for them to get in because they can post stuff, they can attach things. They can have discussions, they don't have to be bound by time. But between these two options, we are really checking with people who are interested to see what they would like, and then we'll build it out. It will not be a complicated platform. It will be a simple one where they can connect.
Okay. Okay, so when it comes to what is the barrier? What is the token barrier that you have to hold in order to be on the website? I guess this is multiple different avenues because we have freelancers, we have marketers, and we have projects. So you said you wanted to have it open for everybody to sort of use the platform, but obviously you're going to have to sort of hold some sort of tokens. So how much are we talking? No, you don't have to hold any?
Nope. They don't have to hold any because we're still very new. I think by holding the token, it stops people from even trying the website out. If they don't really know something that's very new, this can be very discouraging to people who want to try that out. So in the beginning, at least we will, well, for employers themselves, 100%, they don't have to hold anything. They can just create an account and they can take it from there. As for the freelancers themselves, we have different tiers. So to start off, they can use the lowest tier if they just want to try how the platform is for them, whether it's suitable for them. They can work up to 2 jobs at 5% commission rate it will take from them. But if they upgrade themselves to like business tier or premium tier, they have to pay a monthly fee, but the commission percentage goes down. So it goes by 5%, 3%, and 1%, which is a lot lower than traditional freelance platform. There's like 20%, the lowest out there is 10%, and that you have to do a high volume. But for us, no, because we want to be able to push the token. The token has taxes, and so we're definitely not pushing too much on the site. So there's no requirement to hold the token to use it, at least not for now.
Okay. Cool, cool. I like that. Yeah, you definitely want to maximize your audience, right? So that does make sense to me, at least in the beginning, to not sort of have that entrance barrier, because as we know, the token price is going to fluctuate. It might go, it might skyrocket. It could go anywhere. So if there is that barrier and the price does skyrocket, how do you really get in there, right? It's kind of hard. So
Yep.
yeah, makes sense. Let me see here. There was a couple questions that I actually had in the text chat. I've been trying to answer as many as I can while we're talking here. So
Yep.
when it comes to the Unicrypt pre-sale, can we buy tokens with BNB tokens, or is it just BUSD?
Just BUSD. Our liquidity pool will be BUSD, so the contribution will also be in BUSD. And by changing to BUSD, it's also more unlikely that someone can snipe. I heard that there is some issue with sniping in Unicrypt recently. I don't know how true that is, but with BUSD is a lot tougher because the default router is usually BNB, and BUSD would take them a little bit to convert, so they might not even be able to snipe, for example. I don't know how true that is, but yeah. Oh, I revealed that out. Now I'm in trouble.
Okay, well, maybe it will go to other projects and people. Hopefully, eventually, we figure out how to stop the snipers. Period. I don't know. They're always going to be one step ahead of us, but we can only do small things to sort of benefit the projects when they're first launching, of course. So let's talk a little bit more about initial liquidity. So since you guys are raising 165,000, how much of that is going to be going into the liquidity?
60%. So 40% of it is for the sustenance for a year. But I know 60% is probably not the highest that people can see. Usually 70, 80 is good. But we do have a 2% on both buy and sell tax in separately that is meant for buyback and for us to burn the tokens. So either way, the money will go back to the liquidity one way or another. So it should keep building up later on. In the first stage is 60%.
Okay. Somebody else asked, do you guys have your Unicrypt link out yet, or you're still editing that because there's issues with the pre-sale, right?
Yes, so if you guys Unicrypt, you can find it, but please do not use it. Please do not do anything with it because it's really it's bad. It's a bad link. Everything on there is wrong. It has to do with our contract and the platform. So we had to talk to Solid Proof about it just now. They weren't aware, and we talked to Unicrypt. They weren't aware there was such issue. So we're trying to fix it at the moment. That's why Jawad is away. But if you guys see the link, please don't touch it. We'll create a new one.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me just go over my notes here. So has there been anything that we haven't really touched on yet for utility-wise?
I think the only other thing is probably the Elite Club. We haven't added that to the red paper because it's really something that we've just released about a few days ago. So this is more towards, we built the Elite Club because of, so basically what the Elite Club is a bunch of people who hold OG token. The first intake, we'll have monthly intake. The first intake, they will only have to hold 50,000 tokens. So what they will get out of that membership is you have a private group of people. We'll verify their tokens every week. If we have whitelist spots for projects that we partner with, they will be the first one to get it. They will get insider news over there. We will approach people with the group using the group's reputation because it's going to be a strict membership. We actually will go through each individual wallet weekly of the people who are in to make sure that they're still holding the amount of token. So what we will do is, when we pitch to different groups, a lot of people do come to you and say, hey, we have a private group, we want to invest and whatnot, but it's really not solid. But for us, because we have our own token, we can easily go to people and say, look, these are the list of people that we have. These are the list of wallets that's out there. You can verify they've been holding our tokens since this long. You have to tell us, you have to pitch your project to us and see where we can help you or where we can invest. The whole idea is, we want to fit into a vision. We want to grow, right? So the grow part is not just our platform. We want to grow the projects. We also want to grow investors' own portfolio. Nobody puts all their money in one crypto, and I would strongly suggest against that, and I believe many people would say that too. So the journey with us, obviously, if you're looking for a quick pump and then go, I understand. I can't say anything bad about it. Obviously, it's not something that I want or like to hear. But how can we make people stay is to incentivize them with things that can increase even more than what they can get from one project. So they could be doing good things with like 10 other projects. They just have to hold us an amount of token with us. That's it. They're not paying that to us. They're just holding it. So, okay. Yeah, that's the other utility of the token. Yes.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you very much for that. I do want to have time for some community questions here. Like I said, I've been going through the text chat and sort of answering as many as I can while we're having this conversation. There has been someone with their hand up for quite a while here. So Scriptorizer. There you go, man. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. I have unmuted you. Don't forget to unmute yourself. Oh, it didn't work. There we go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Venom, so much, and Joy for letting me speak. So first of all, I really love what you're doing. You're part of some projects right now on Binance Smart Chain that are looking into changing the way the BSC space is seeing, and like all of these scams coming around. I truly believe that soon in the future, all of this is going to change because people is going to make efforts like you guys are doing in order to have better channels for like marketing or for many different things in order to have a better Binance Smart Chain space for all of us. So I really appreciate that. My question is, do you know who your competition is? What other projects are doing something similar? It seems to me that the next generation of launchpads are looking to include these marketing services into their projects. So have you guys ever thought about having a launchpad in the future integrated with your services and have it like one-stop shop where projects can really trust all of the services that you guys have, if that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much for your question. Well, there's definitely competition, I would say, because we're doing so many things. So I think, some part of what we do here and there, we will be competing with different people. But what really is different about us is because we do a lot of things as a package from head to toe. And what you say really makes sense about the Launchpad, but it's really not one thing that we want to do at the moment. And not our focus very much at this very moment, because that would put us in a different direction. We do think that the Launchpad market, honestly, is a bit oversaturated at this point. And in order for us to have that competitive edge, we need to have a lot of experience in that. And it's not something we want to claim we have experience in. What we're doing right now, we have experience in. We know the solution to the problems, as in we are able to introduce some solutions that we think can fix the problem. As for Launchpad, however, it's going to be a different research. It's going to be a different base, different strategy, business plan, risk management. So it's not something that we want to look at. I know that it's good to be able to embrace different utility of things on your end to be able to cover from head to toe. But we also have to stay true to ourselves and be realistic about what we're professional in and what we can thrive. That doesn't mean that we will shrug that thought off completely. With the expansion, who knows, the experts that we'll bring into the team, maybe we will be able to walk towards that direction. But at this very moment, I think at least for the next 6 months, I can safely tell you that's not something that we'll look at.
Awesome. Yeah, just focus on what you have experienced right now, and I understand that. What you were saying about the Launchpad market being a little bit oversaturated, actually, people is expecting other Launchpads to come out soon. Because the ones right now, most of them have really bad reputation. We are tired of the Launchpads that we have in BSC, most of them. So maybe one thing that a team can do is start looking out what other new launchpads are coming out that are, trying to do things different, and maybe have a partnership with them, have across the launchpad that doesn't dump the tokens, that, that do things different, and that also, can work together with your project, just as an idea, in order to make a bridge between the marketing and the launchpad. And in that way, we can all start having a better and safest environment for the Binance Smart Chain. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much to both of you. And my last question is really short. Is there any possible way to get a whitelist spot at this point? What do they have to do? I want to contribute into your project.
Thank you so much. Well, I guess, sorry, I will go backwards a little bit because you mentioned quite a few things and I don't want to ignore them. So I really like your suggestion. I think it's really valid to be able to partner with different launchpad to give them the avenue or proper ones, right? That's definitely in our mind. I don't know if you know Rowan. He's a good buddy of mine. He is the owner of Sirs Investment Group. Basically, Rowan has some connection to different launchpads that we are already their strategic partner right now. So on the launchpad piece, for sure, within what our services will offer or what we will recommend or consult or share, we will definitely throw some out there for sure, but not as our own. So as for the whitelist, there's many ways. Actually, just today's AMA, I'm not sure how in Venom you guys do it. Like, how do you spread the whitelist? We do have 10 spots to spread. And for our group and future AMA, we have been going on an AMA tour. So all our AMAs actually give out whitelist spots. There's sweep widget. There is call groups. There is another competition called Showcase Competition. You can trigger the word showcase in our Telegram, and Rose should be able to give you the information. So there are quite some ways to win the whitelist, but we are finalizing in the next 18 hours or so. Yeah, so that people have time to prepare.
All right, thank you so much. Hopefully I will be able to win one here or in another of the AMAs. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Scriptorizer.
All the best. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. If you're too nervous to talk in the voice chat, absolutely put it in the text chat and I can relay it for you. I have been answering as many as I can in the text chat. Let me see here. Take a scroll. Okay. Okay, I had a couple questions for you. I had them written down. Let me see here. Oh, something that we haven't gone over for the pre-sale and the private sale was the vesting periods. Is there vesting period on those?
No. So there's no vesting period because the percentage, the max token amount, the percentage that they can, against the total supply is very small. It's only, if you buy max in pre-sale, you will only get 0.04% of total supply, 0.044%. So it's not a high amount. It's not something that we need to vest. Hence why we created the Elite Club. We want to incentivize for people to hold, top up a little bit and hold, basically. So that will help the chart during launch, and that would incentivize them for other things.
Beautiful. No, I like the fact that you guys kept it low. Nobody could sort of just whale in there and then, have an opportunity to dump later on. I think small wallets is great for organic growth, and it's really healthy for the overall token mechanics as well. So, okay, and then being on the red paper as well. I like how you called it a red paper. It's kind of interesting. You have a large portion for burns. Now, this is going to be strategically done. So you're going to be doing manual burns, monthly burn of 5% for the first 5 months. So, like I said, it's quite a large piece of the pie. So, talk a little bit about your burns, and like it's 25% of your pie chart is for the burns. So, what are you guys thinking there?
Yeah, so I know it's really crazy, but that's also actually our main eye grabber, to be honest. We want to be able to attract people to tell them that, when they first join, you look at 100 million supply, well, that's short term. The reason is because we are releasing a lot of our utility for the next few months. It's really good that we tell people, hey, as we launch, you know what, supply is going down as well. So we have like a lot of news to share. We have quite a bit of an unconventional marketing method in a lot of things that we do. For example, we have our own song to describe what the project is about since it's so heavy. Yeah, so, well, I lost my thought for a little bit there.
It happens to me all the
I
time.
blanked out.
Don't feel bad.
Oh Lord, like I forgot everything. Like I don't even know what we were
Okay.
talking about.
That's okay. That's okay. Not a problem.
Did I answer it? No.
Pretty much. You were talking about the manual burn,
Okay.
how the pie chart is like
Oh, yes.
25% manual burn.
Yeah, it's done on purpose. So yeah,
Okay.
per month. Actually, we want to burn 5% before launch. And that's how we discovered there were issues. So the truth is why the Unicrypt link we had issue. We were trying to burn the tokens, and apparently it kind of bring the whole supply down like a rebase, which it wasn't supposed to do. So there was a glitch that even the audit did not pick up. So we were working with them to see what went wrong, but really we kept testing, and even in testnet there was nothing wrong, and it took us a long time to get there. Just FYI, guys, in case you're wondering why there's a delay. The burn, of course.
Perfect. Okay, you nailed that. So here's my next question. Since there's 25% in the pie chart that is going to be burned manually over the next 5 months, however you guys choose, in the buy and the sell tax, there's also 2% buyback for in the buy and 2% buyback in manual burn for the sell. So is that different? Is that going to be from transactions only, or is that for the pie chart as well?
Is by transaction. So it's separate. The 25% is 25%. Everything that we buy back from that 2%, we still burn it. So we will switch off the 2% buyback and burn once the supply reaches 15 million. We need to continue. But basically, it should keep going on and on and on and on by separate budgets. 25% allocated for manual burn. The other is whatever come in, whatever we buy, what we will burn.
Okay, I am still here. I'm just replying to some comments here.
Good, no problem.
Okay, let me see. Venom, could you say hi from Malaysia to Joey? Hi from Malaysia, Joey.
I'm in Malaysia.
Okay, let's see.
Hello.
All right. Any more questions, guys? Oh, here's a hand up. Crypto Hunter has a question. He's always in here. What a regular. Thanks, man, for coming on the show. Crypto Hunter, make sure you unmute yourself, man.
Good evening.
Wow, you have some noise in the background today.
Oh, sorry. I think maybe I'll type my question. Are we good to go like this?
Kinda. Not the best, but.
All right. Quick question. I want to know what is your plan in the next 2 years, and what is your projection for your project in the next 2 years? Because I really want those projects to. I want to see in the next 2 years I'm happy with it.
Okay, so I think what he said, what is your projection for the next 2 years? I believe that's what he said, but it was really hard to hear.
I'm amazed you could hear it.
No, it was more of a guess than a hear. I definitely couldn't really understand. Crypto Hunter, if you want to try again, by all means. If you want to type it, then I can also ask it for you. Yeah, Henry, you can drop a question in the text chat for sure, man. Oh, that is what you said, Crypto Hunter. Yeah, so what is your projection for the next couple of years, I guess? You took my question, Crypto Hunter.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
So you can't hear him, but he can hear you, so that's good. Yeah, so for the next 2 years, really, we want to be able to increase the user base of the platform. There's quite a lot of things that we do want to achieve. We want to touch on the non-crypto market as well. We want to reach out to freelancers, to build freelancers profile, but starting with like university students. So we do want to partner up with universities where possible, share with them on the project, the platform itself, basically. As you know, a lot of students, they are really into making money. They have very strict schedule and whatnot. So freelancing is really something that will really help them out. In crypto marketing, there are a lot of things that they can cover, like designing, or like if they are good in development, content writing, translation. No, there's still some things that can really help the project. We want to be able to target that because, you know, the expansion of the crypto world really depends on adoption as well. So we also have to focus on people that are not in crypto right now. That's one area. Second area, we do want to form more connections physically with people. So we really hope to be able to have our real presence in an expo and make friends or make connections, even if we are not able to sponsor a booth. For example, if we're late, we're looking at the exposition in Singapore in June, but really it depends on the budget and the return on investment, like what will I get out of it? Because if it's not that worth it, I might even just go there as a participant and try to make, try to put my business card at everyone's booth, like, hey. Yeah, so expansion for sure. We are hoping to get a celebrity ambassador for the platform itself somewhere end of this year. Hopefully our budget allows, but we do want to focus on branding OG itself, branding the platform, branding the brand itself, making it known. So for the next 2 years, I would say a lot of growth in terms of the platform, stability, maintenance. We want to be able to measure and maintain. We want to upgrade the site. We want to increase more functions. We want to make more business connections, and I've told you how. We want to be able to send other form of adoption. We want to be able to promote adoption with other markets for like non-crypto investors, for example. So I guess quite a few things, and I probably left a few things out, but on high level, this is how it is.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Crypto Hunter, I hope that answered your question there. We're going to move on to William. He has his hand up. He's finally back from his meeting. Welcome, William. Thank you for coming on the show, as always.
Sorry if I asked anything. I was in a work meeting. I did hear the OG one in another AMA the other day, so I actually had a bunch of questions that I wasn't able to get in on that one. So I looked at the platform, and I don't know if Venom brought it up or not, but I mentioned to you guys that there was another project that I thought we had here at an AMA that had like similar stuff. It was at that Join.io, I think it was, Venom.
Yeah.
And I brought that up to them. I don't know if you could pass that information along to her because they were kind of curious. I couldn't find the Telegram link. But kind of my question to her the other day was she didn't even know about the competitor. So when you get a look at that, it was kind of like, how do you separate yourselves from them to like make people want to use your platform over theirs, or else that would kind of come out to here? Like how do you make your KYC process stronger than your competitors?
Okay, sure, no problem. So I guess number one is I did look into, we had some conversation at the background, right? I did look into the project. I managed to find it. It's, JoinCoin, as I know, as I read and as I observe, they are trying to be a LinkedIn alternative. So it's a bit different, right? LinkedIn alternative is really more social, and you don't really use the platform for payments and whatnot. It's really viewing tool. Yes, recruiters can use it to recruit different people with LinkedIn Premium. So can they. I looked at their platform. It's essentially quite different. It feels as though there's not as many personal touches to the projects that we would have. So I guess one thing that we definitely have on edge is, things that many people or projects will not do, or businesses, is to give free consultancy or advices or assistance where needed. In terms of earlier you mentioned about KYC procedure. So KYC procedure right now, I don't know how it's done from the other company for sure, or how they are doing it. But we do know that, as a real registered company, there are some information that we can obtain, some information that we can't. So we'll look into third-party verification processes. So it could be like things like Verif or things like BlockPass for crypto. We could integrate them. We could use them as partners for KYC. Right now, we have not fully decided for sure. We did set on BlockPass, but it seems that there is some issue with the fees or the structure. I don't really understand. We're trying to sort it out in the background, but most likely we'll go with third-party license and legality to do so, as we don't want to own the data unnecessarily and potentially put us in a bad position if something happens.
Awesome. No, you nailed that one. And then another one that I wanted to ask is there's there's a lot of stuff there with the Launchpad and that, right? As far as like your normal typical BSC space holders, what kind of like utilities and stuff do you have in place to kind of make them want to buy in and hold it like long term?
Yeah, so I guess this is where I would like to push the Elite Club a bit more. You hear me speak about the Elite Club. It's called OGs of the OGs Elite Club. So this Elite Club essentially, quite different from other people. They have staking mechanism. We have a auto reflection, which is like an auto staking mechanism. But we also have the Elite Club. So the Elite Club really is not just focused on OG token. They have the whole OG tokens for sure. But the whole point is for them to be able to earn more from different other projects using the connection that we already have. So they don't have to do much of their homework. They can go other places for sure, but they'll have an elite title. They will be fed with information. They'll be kept grounded, and they will be given bonuses and whatnot. So the entrance, to enter this elite club in the beginning is really not a lot of tokens. It's just 50,000 tokens. The pre-sale itself will already earn them about 43,000 tokens. So they just have to top up about 6,576 tokens. No, 66 tokens. So they just have to top up a little bit more and they will be able to enjoy that benefit. Obviously, if they do still want to sell because they think that they can do better research on their own, by all means, but we do want to offer this, and this is of no cost. The Elite membership itself, there's no charges or anything like that. It's going to be a bit quiet in the beginning for sure, until we partner with more groups. But essentially, the longer that they stay, the more benefits that they do get. So that's one thing that I do want to highlight apart from other things that we have. This I think, I really hope that people will notice how special this is, because you will get special accesses to different projects and whatnot. Usually that's only done by call groups or done by lounges and all that. But with us, the biggest proof that you have when we speak to people is we're holding tokens. That's why we're elite. We have something to prove that we're elite members. So it's a flex as well. The real OGs.
No, I like that. That sounds like it. So like your plan is to kind of like have like a token that would come to you. You kind of do your research, and then the people in that group would have like a little bit of an early access, maybe than the general population. I like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Thanks,
thank you, William. Did you have anything else, Will?
No,
feel free if you have anything.
I'm good. Thank you. There's a bunch of other hands up. Go for it.
Okay. Let's go to Jesse. Hey, Jesse, don't forget to unmute yourself, man.
Yeah, I got kicked after you unmuted me.
Yeah, there you go. You're here. I'm going to turn you up a little bit. Here we go. Hold on. There we go.
All right. So just like I asked in the voice chat, I wanted to know if they plan to grow OG token into a coin, and what time target do they have if they will be doing that?
Like our own blockchain? Is that what you mean, Jesse?
Yeah. Yes. Are you planning to build your own blockchain? And if you are planning to do that, what time target do you have for that?
It's not so one thing for sure is not within the next 6 to 12 months can we ever foresee ourselves doing a blockchain. Not at all for the next 12 months. Developing a blockchain is not easy. The focus is going to be different. The price, the cost and the expertise and the risk that comes with it is totally different. It'll be nice as we grow bigger, especially when, the project and the utility really runs very well and the price is very stable and we are able to focus on other things. But it's not feasible at this moment. It's not something that we want to do. So it's not going to be what we want to do.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Just writing down some things here. Let me go back into the text questions. You guys are absolutely hilarious on the text. I hope you haven't been reading the majority of the text questions in there, Joey. They are an interesting community for sure. Don't read it,
now
I promise.
that you say it, I will read it.
They like to go right off the
You
rails
fish
sometimes.
me to it. I hope it's nothing bad.
No,
I'm sorry,
they
guys,
love you,
if I'm
actually.
being, oh, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to let Joel Joy, he can speak, and then Cryptomaniac after. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, Joe.
Yeah. So, nice job with the project. So, a quick one. I wanted to ask, according to your roadmap and what you've said earlier about getting celebrity influencers and stuff. So, I'm gonna ask based on the track, the OG rap you released. Are there plans of releasing more tracks, and are there plans of featuring, real life celebrity rappers on tracks for promotions and marketing stuff like that?
For sure. The name OG is, Joe, I love it that you said you've listened to our song. Please, everybody else, go listen to it. Please. Yeah, so it is something that Jawad and I has discussed. We have both discussed about this for a long time. He has connection to the music industry in Morocco. He's a Moroccan. He has a lot of friends who are professional rappers. As you guys know, there's a lot of great rappers that's in Hollywood, like French Montana and whatnot. But anyway, he has connection to the rap world. We did think of wanting to do that for sure, but we've inquired the cost, we've calculated it. It's not something that we can do at this moment to get a big celebrity, but it's something that we are working towards for sure. We can't share too much more than that. But yeah, just take the song as the first step, I guess, and what's coming is going to be unpredictable.
Oh, okay, that's nice, and I'm fantastic job right there with the track. I mean, I kept on playing, and it's a really lovely track.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Joel.
We requested for it to be inspired. We need it to be an inspiration of Snoop because he the real OG. So we want some sort of like a Snoop vibe to the song, to the rap.
Perfect. Okay. There was somebody else with their hand up. Cryptomaniac, you can go ahead, man. You're unmuted. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Hello, good day.
Hey.
I will first start with a compliment. It's a very good thing that women are not taking the forefront of cryptocurrency. and saying the fact that most of the countries that had women as their leaders were the ones that were able to implement a very advanced way to keep COVID out of their country. So that's why I have so much hope as regards this project. Now, I would like to ask about two or three questions. Number one is how have you tried using your experience at BNB Cash to have you integrated your experience from BNB Cash to this OG product? Then the second one is do you have any community plan? Well, any plan to make sure that the community relate with each other? I know you have seen your sweep widget, but yet that's just people will have to register for that one. I'm talking about you guys coming organizing a game, an inbuilt community game where every community member can relate with each other. Then the third one is, do you have an ambassadorship program? Do you have any ambassadorship program? Do you have any plan to move to make sure that your influence grows beyond Singapore?
I'm sorry, you cut off at the end.
Sorry, so okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, just the last question you cut off.
Okay. I said, do you have any plan to move your influence beyond Singapore? Because I think I've seen about four or five crypto companies that are based in Singapore, and they are just satisfied with remaining in Singapore and operating from there. But do you have any plan to have influence all over the world, maybe a regional basis, maybe continental basis? Because you're talking about your universities in Singapore. Do you happen to do you want to create scholarship or the freelance stuff? Do you want to move it from Singapore, maybe all over the world, maybe to Africa, maybe to Asia, maybe to a war reading region, like all those places where schooling might be difficult, but everybody has to school anyway. So I want to ask you that, do you plan to move the scholarship and the freelance jobs to that area? So that would be all for now.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I think I might have lost the first question, but I'll try and answer as many as I can. To other country. So look, we created a company in Singapore, but we're not based there. I'm half Singaporean. My nationality is fully Malaysian. I'm not afraid to admit that. My dad's Singaporean, but I have my family over there. Right now, the people that we will hire or people that we will work with, they will be from different parts of the world. Since we are actually working in the crypto industry, people are from all around the world. Technically, we don't have to move our presence. I think work from home has definitely been a really big thing during this COVID period, especially right after there's a lot of changes in the corporate environment where people would actually seek for work from home jobs, and they actually reject jobs that they don't get to work from home. And that's one of the challenges that I have at my day job previously, for sure, is that there's a lot of rejection from people when you have to go back to office, or when you're hiring someone new and you're like, oh no, you have to be in a physical office, for example. So I think the demand has changed. COVID has definitely changed the entire working environment. I would say a physical presence, will we ever establish? That's not a no. In different places, it depends on what our focus is, what we're doing. Right now, we want to stay in Singapore. The company will stay in Singapore because they are very supportive of crypto regulations, especially when it comes to business transactions. So it's something that a lot of companies do want to stick to if they even get to open a company there, because to even set up a company there is not easy. A lot of people can't set up there. A lot of rejections, and you can't even go through, or sometimes you can even be banished. So as far as I can see, at least for now, until we are much more established, we will stay our presence in Singapore. Later on, of course, with how quick crypto is moving, with how quick regulations are moving around the world, there's no way that we might say, we will tell you that, oh, we're going to stay here forever and that's it. But do we have an expansion plan out of the country right now in terms of physical location? No. But our audience is global. Our audience is global. Work with a global. Yeah, so in that term, yes. Secondly, just now you asked me a question on community. If I understand the question correctly, sorry if I don't, but I remember you said, like, how do you ensure that we keep that bonding for the community? So personally, for people who don't know me, for people who know me, I know there's a lot of, thank you guys for joining, people from previous project that are here. So I do like to get on the ground a lot, hence why, I'm on an AMA tour. I do try to reply to community as much as I can within the conversation. AMAs like this within the community will not stop. We will have some fun sessions for sure. Within the community, there's actually various community mods that we already have. They're all volunteers. I'm really, really lucky that none of them actually requested for any payment. And, some of them I asked if they want to help out, and they're like, yeah, for sure. Some of them were like, they actually volunteered to help because of they want to be able to be supportive of the project. So I think to be able to connect with the community, we will definitely stay true to ourselves. We'll get our feet wet on the ground. When times are very busy, we might not be able to reply to everyone on the spot or even in the next few hours, but as much as we can, we'll have our presence there. That's something that you will be reassured of for sure. And the first question I actually forgot, but thank you for mentioning about women in crypto. I do think gender doesn't matter, but thank you for acknowledging that.
Perfect. Okay. Any more questions, guys? I'm not seeing any more hands up. Let me take another scroll through the text chat. Like I said, I'm always trying to answer as many as I can. Alex, I think that you came in a little bit late, man. Thank you very much for showing up, as always. You always ask great questions. I sort of tried to answer your question because it has been asked multiple times here. So let me just go over it. We'll see if Joey can sort of fill in any blanks. So can you list the outstanding features of OG Token that you think are the strengths that will help OG Token succeed? In the future, will the OG Token be developed with more utilities? And it's easy to make a token, but it's really hard to make the token valuable. So what's OG's token strategy to maintain the price? So I laid out all the aspects in my message there that they are sort of trying to go with for the token itself. So they're using it in multiple different ways. Like we talked about earlier in the AMA, the escrow function, you can only use the OG token to have access to the escrow function. They're going to be having all the payments made for features on the website, for AMAs, for Telegram promotions, all sorts of things like that. They also have the 25% of the pie chart that is going to be burned, manual burns over the next 5 months, as well as transaction fee burns. So there is lots of moving parts here to sort of maintain the price floors, I think, in my opinion. Their private sale and their pre-sale, their contributions aren't too heavy as opposed to a lot of other projects that we see. The private sale, they were only able to contribute, what was it, $480 for a 0.04% wallet or something, Joey?
Private sale is $400 for 0.04%. Pre-sale is $480 for 0.044%.
Okay. Yeah, 0.44%. So very, very low for a wallet amount, in my opinion. And what about the pre-sale? Or sorry, did you just say the pre-sale? That was the private sale.
Yeah, private is 0.04. Pre-sale is 0. So it's like add another 4.
Okay.
At the back.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, not huge contributions. So I don't think that there will be a whole lot of dumps in the beginning. I mean, we know it's the BSC space, so charts go up, charts go down. But it's not crazy amounts like 5 BNB contributions or anything crazy like that. So as for price stability, I have faith in it for sure. They got lots of moving parts, like I said, one more time, and lots of burns. So I hope that answers your question a little bit, Alex, without having to ask Joey again for another full explanation. As for features and upcoming utilities, I don't know, Joey, maybe you want to just touch on that a little bit?
Sure. Thank you so much for answering some of the questions. Give me a break. I do have another AMA in 29 minutes, so I'm hoping not to lose my voice.
Okay. We won't hold you too long.
No, I'm really happy to be here. I'm sorry. I don't mean it that way. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah, so future utility for sure. So, we want to be able to stick to the name, organic growth. So right now, I've mentioned before about the platform or things that we do. That's really just the beginning. So later on, we do want to be able to expand, but at this moment, really our main focus is to stabilize on the platform. So future utility, can I tell you what it is? Will it be realistic to say I want this in 12 months? No, because in 12 months, we want to be in a really, really good place, well-known site, well-known platform where everybody go. We want people to go to different Telegram and say, when OG instead of when CMC, because investors should be going there to look for projects, not CMC anymore. Haha. Big dreams, huh? But yeah, so can't say further utility for now because we have really a lot in store and we want to be able to be realistic again as usual and be able to achieve that goal. We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. We would rather do something really, really, really well before taking something on again. So we will stay true to the roadmap for now.
Okay. All right. Sorry, just once again, writing stuff down here. Let me go through the text chat one more time. Yeah, so like she said, guys, she's got about 25 minutes until she has another AMA. So let's sort of wrap the questions up a little bit. I think we've covered most topics. I already asked Joey once if we had missed anything during our first sort of utility roundup. So we covered everything. Questions have been asked once again. So I'll give you guys 20, 30 seconds. Get any last minute questions in that you want. We'll answer them best to our ability, and then we'll sort of allow her to get a grace period in between her next AMA and this one. Okay. So let me just go back into the comments here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Is she currently, do you want me to actually ask that, Julia? Is she currently certified Six Sigma, and for how long? Six Sigma. Do I know what that even means?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm certified Six Sigma. I'm certified in Lean Six Sigma, but that's I only have a green belt since 2014. I have to practice Lean Six Sigma every day in my work, in day job. Yeah, I don't really want to be reminded. I'm sorry. But yeah, since 2014.
No, that's awesome.
Sorry.
Like, don't knock it. Like the green belt, I know it's like the early one, but that's still awesome to have under your belt. And for anyone that doesn't know, that's like project management stuff, basically. Lean Six Sigma is it's a methodology for project management that's kind of utilized around the world and recognized. And the green belt certification, you can go up to black belt certification. And when you get that black belt certification, you've really dug deep into this stuff. But it's a project management platform that's been being utilized all over the world.
Yeah. So the only worry that I have why I didn't get the black belt is because of for people who don't know, for you to gain belts, you must be able to save certain amount of cost. Depending on the company that you work for, the projects that you work with. So if you are not able to save, let's say, for this project, this amount of budget and X amount of budget you reach, you will not be able to get certain belts. So in the beginning, you have yellow belt, of course, is by like studying, you get to the exam, then you get yellow. To get a green, there's a different tier. FYI, if you guys are interested, it's really good because it helps you to define problem, how to solve them, how to measure, how to maintain as well. That's why a lot of things that I say would be a lot about problems, problems that we notice, how we're going to solve it, maintenance, and evaluation. Basically, the mainframes of Six Sigma.
Cool. That's unreal. I like that.
Thanks.
Having hobbies as well as being in the crypto space, it's important for your overall well-being as well, right? So spending too much time in the crypto space can definitely be detrimental for our health. But we love it. That's why we do it, for sure. Okay, guys, let me go through this a little bit more. I'm not really seeing any more questions. You guys are just right off the rails today. I know it's early morning. Well, not for everybody, but okay, let's see here. Nope, I think we're going to probably wrap this up. So, Joey, thank you very much for coming on here. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Super bullish project. You got lots of utility coming up. I'm excited to see how it develops in the future. Sort of crypto, who was that? Oh, Crypto Hunter sort of asked you, where do you guys sort of see yourself in 2 years? I'm going to ask you one more time just to wrap up before I end the recording here. Where do you guys see yourself in 1 year time? Just for anybody new that's joining in.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And where do we see ourselves in 1 year? To be the real OG of BNB chain space. Is that
Beauty.
corny?
No, not at all.
More professional?
Own it. Own it. That's good. No, I love it.
Sorry, guys. I have very lame jokes sometimes. I don't know how.
No,
people
you're
can stand
nailing
me.
it. Are you kidding me? They're eating it up for sure.
These guys.
8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Was that all you wanted to say? No, that's perfect. If that is, that's totally fine.
No, really. I'm sorry because my throat is actually hurting. Yeah, but
No.
yeah, 1 year. Definitely, I guess in terms of floor price, we want to be able to set a higher floor price regardless of what happened. It would be really nice, like minimum at 10x as a floor. In terms of its token, we want to be able to grow the user base to about at least 20,000 people, front and back, both employer and freelancer. That's a number that we did talk about, but it's going to be very hard to achieve in the first 12 months. It's not impossible, it's just difficult with everything that's going on. So, FYI.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to end the recording now. We're going to go on to the giveaways. Like you said, we have 10 whitelist spots that we're going to be giving away, and I'm going to be giving out 1 BNB as well this AMA. So, Joey, I'll forward this the recording immediately to you right after we're finished with the giveaways, and I'm going to stop this recording. The giveaways, and I'm going to stop this recording.